Hello friends, in this video I am going to share my answer for the UPSC 2021 Public Administration Paper 1. Now let's see the fourth subdivision of the first question. The question states, in theory, the civil society organizations promote cooperation between people and public service organizations. But in practice, their activities restrict the promotion of government programs and allies. And my answer to this question starts with an introduction that civil society organizations are non-state actors that unite people to achieve common goals and interests. They include NGOs, labor unions, community groups, faith groups like churches, professional associations, and so on. Recently, major civil society organizations like Amnesty International, Greenpeace, Compassion International were banned, and more CSOs were added into the prior permission list, which means the CSO must ask permission for the government to get foreign fund each time. And the Ministry of Home Affairs cancelled the FCRA registration for various NGOs. Here the FCRA stands for Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. An NGO which is registered for FCRA can receive funds from foreign countries. The MHA's steps were justified in the nature that these CSOs restrict government developmental projects. Now let's see the reasons for the CSOs restricting government projects. The reason can be viewed under two heads. Number one, acting for foreign interest. Some civil society organizations funded by the foreign countries act for the foreign interest by provoking protests and stalling government activities. And the second head is that acting for local interest. Locals initially resist developmental projects, fearing that their land would be acquired by the government or their livelihood will be affected or threatened by that project. Thus, the civil society organization comprising of locals restrict government developmental projects for the interest of the locals. Even though many civil society organizations restrict government developmental projects, their contribution in the development of democracy and public service delivery is immense. For example, with a pool of volunteers, they took the relief work in emergency situations like the COVID-19, flood relief work, and so on. And the civil society organizations also played a key role in strengthening the democracy. For example, the enactment of Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, which was a joint venture of many civil society organizations across the country headed by leaders like Anna Hazare. Thus, for the misconduct of some civil society organizations, imposing restrictions to all civil society organizations will threaten the democracy, as imposing restrictions on civil society organization may restrict the freedom of association guaranteed by the Indian Constitution under the Article 19 Clause C. And now what can we say for way forward? Number one, monitoring activities of suspectful FCRA registered NGOs, tighten the foreign funding, increase the government funding, and promote local fundraising to meet the financial needs of the NGOs. Then awareness about the developmental project must be given to the locals, and reasonable compensation for the land acquired must be given to the locals. And locals who depend on the land for their livelihood like farmers, fishermen, and so on can be given jobs in the developmental project itself, so that the resistance for the developmental project decreases. And finally, restrictions must be imposed only on the civil society organizations which were found guilty, and the grounds for the restriction must be transparent so that misuse of authority will not occur. And friends, this is my personal answer. I am not a UPSC teacher or guide. I am just an UPSC aspirant, and my answer may also have some flaws. You may correct it in the comment section below if you find any. And don't forget to rate my answer, as this answer is for 10 marks and it must be written in about 150 words. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.